On tonight's Moshiach Shiur, I will be sharing a few ideas from the English free translation of Besoros Geula, the announcement of the redemption, Geula. So, these are the generations of Yaakov Yosef. The name of Yosef, which means increase, alludes to the increase of the revelation and dissemination of the teachings of Chabad Hasidus by our Rebbeim and leaders, successors of the Alter Rebbe, until my sainted father-in-law, Rabbi Yosef Yitzhak, also known as the Frierdiker Rebbe, the leader of our generation. The Yosef of our generation, his primary focus was the realization of the deeper sense of the name Yosef. May God increase another son, that is, to take the other, the outsider, and transform it into an insider, a son. This goal of transforming the outsider into an insider became even more pronounced when he arrived in the lower hemisphere, analogous to the descent of Yosef into Egypt. His arrival here facilitated the revelation of Hasidus, along with the dissemination of Torah and Yiddishkeit to the entire world, even to the lowliest, the most spiritually remote regions of the world. So, like Lamashal, Kedugma, Antarctica, North Korea, places like those. In the 40 years since his passing, we have experienced an increase in these efforts, an increase which finds expression in the verse, Faratzta alecha paretz. You have broken through a breach. Our sages teach that after 40 years, one has the capacity to fathom the mind of one's teacher. That's based on the Gemara, Daf Hey and Avodah Zarah. So that then one can acquire a heart to know, eyes to see, and ears to hear. The teachings learned 40 years earlier. Similarly, the dissemination of the fountains of Hasidus to the outside followed the biblical description of, and you shall spread forth to the west and east, north and south, reaching even the most remote corners of the globe, breaking all the barriers. Therefore, as both the 40-year barrier to understanding and the barriers to the dissemination of the fountains of Hasidus have been breached, we are already prepared for the coming of our righteous Moshiach. Significantly, Moshiach is identified with parrots. As our sages common parrots, this is Moshiach. As it says, the breacher of parrots has arisen from them. It's based on a pasuk from one of the minor prophets, Micah, base Yud Gimel. On Yotes Kislev of this year, 192 years will have elapsed since the liberation of the first Yotet Kislev, 5,559, 5751, Tafshin Nun Aleph. The significance of the number 192 is that rearranged the Hebrew letters for 192 Ketzev form the word kabetz, collecting or gathering. This could suggest that we have now concluded the service in the area of exile, namely the process of collecting and gathering the divine sparks of the entire world, for which purpose God exiled Israel among the nations. This includes collecting and gathering all the variations represented by the phrase kabetz shana. For the word shana, year, is cognate to the word shinoi, change, i.e. all the possible changes and variations of divine sparks. B. The Hebrew letters of the word 192 Ketzev derive in the term fixed time or cut off. This implies that the time for the dissemination of the fountains to the far reaches, as well as the spiritual achievements during this time, which commenced Yotes Kislev 192 years ago, has finally reached the cutoff period, at last been completed. Therefore, we are ready for the realization of the promise that when the fountains of Hasidus will be disseminated to the farthest reaches, the Master, Melech HaMashiach, will come. This is one of the reasons for the publication of a special and enlarged edition of the Tanya, Torah Shel Hasidus, the written Torah of the teachings of Chabad Hasidus, and its distribution to everyone present, men, women, and children, in conjunction with the festival of liberation of Yotes Kislev, at that time the 192nd year, to emphasize in a concrete matter, one visible to even eyes of flesh, the completion of the service of disseminating the fountains to the farthest reaches during the 192 years. This completion leads to the end of days, that is the end of exile, which also implies the realization of another end of days, that is the deadline for and the beginning of Geula. And that was from a Sikha on Shabbos, delivered on Shabbos, Parshas Vayeshev, Chaf Aleph Kislev of Tafshin Nun Aleph. Another quick one. When one is totally immersed in a certain subject, it's human nature when encountering another topic to immediately search for and to find the connection with that subject in which he is immersed, even though this other topic has its own issues and critical features. As Yidden, particularly in the end of the period of Galus, after the passing of all the deadlines, and after my sainted father-in-law testified that we have already done tshuva and that all necessary efforts have been completed, the buttons have been polished, so to speak. We are totally immersed and in waiting for him every day that he will come, and throughout each and every day we wait and yearn for the true and complete redemption. And as much as Yidden are passionately involved with the coming of Moshiach, it is reasonable that in all matters we should search primarily for their association with our waiting every day that he will come. Applying this is a timely theme. This to a timely theme. As we stand in Yemei Chanukah through a multifaceted holiday, we ought to emphasize primarily its connection with the Geula. This festival was instituted because of the miracle with the cruse of oil involved with the kindling of the menorah in the base Hamikdash, the sanctuary, the temple. Afterwards, the Hasmoneans dedicated the temple. They cleared your sanctuary and purified your holy temple. Mention of the temple is an immediate reminder of the Geula and serves to enhance our anticipation for his coming every day. The building and dedication of the third base of Mikdash and the lighting of the menorah by Aaron HaKohen, which returned with the true and complete Geula by our righteous Moshiach. Similarly, with respect to the Torah reading of the Shabbos of Hanukkah, during the Torah reading, as soon as a Jew hears and comprehends the word Miketz, the end, he exclaims, "Aha! This is an allusion to the end of Galus, referred to as the end of days, Ketz Hayamim, spelled with a final mem, which connotes the end of exile, as well as the end of days, Ketz Hayamim, spelled as it is in the book of the end of the book of Sefer Daniel, with a final nun, which connotes the deadline for the Geula." And afterwards, when one reads or hears the Haftarah, the section of the prophets read weekly after the Kriyas HaTorah, which states, "I beheld the menorah entirely of gold, the Zahav," one senses immediately a reference to the Geula Hasidah. Likewise, upon reading about the Nesiim princes and the Nasi prince of the tribe of Reuven, Jacob's firstborn son, in particular, Ayid, is reminded forthwith of the true and complete Geula, at which time all the Nesiim will be present in the status of the Jewish people as the firstborn child of the whole world will be manifest. Moreover, the fourth light of Hanukkah is an immediate reminder of the fourth and final Geula, when the most complete godly manifestations will extend to all four directions of the world, and that was delivered. That seal was delivered on Shabbos Parshas Miketz, Shabbos Hanukkah, Tafshin Nun Aleph. May Moshiach come, take it from me, Admamish, redeem us from this, this dark and long gullus, and we should celebrate in Yerushalayim. Take it from me, Admamish.